How should someone approach being denied? Let's say in this situation they've been denied and they have an appointment the next week. What should they keep in mind?
The first thing to keep in mind is there are different bases of denials. The most common denial is under Section 214B. So if you've been denied, they would have given you a letter, and it would say that in there under 214B. The thing to know about 214B is, number one, it can be very common, and in particular parts of the world, very common to happen. There are a lot of reasons for this. Typically, we find that when it comes to student visa applicants, it's a lack of effective preparation, being ready to only have a few questions and convey a lot of information in those. The good news about 214B is what it means truly is that on that day, at that time, the officer found somebody not qualified. But on a different day, different preparation, that interview could go completely differently, right? And so the answer could be an approval. And anyone who is refused under 214B is free to reapply whenever they want, and it's a sort of fresh start. Now, the officer at a second interview or third interview will look at the notes and the justification given by the officers for previous refusal or refusals. But you do have a new opportunity, and many times applicants are able to overcome their refusal under 214B. It usually is really a case of being honest with themselves about how that interview went. Oftentimes, nerves get in the way, or how they felt they prepared was not actually what they needed to do to be as successful in the interview. There are other types of refusals, some of which are a little more serious, and they have to do under different sections of the law that could have longer term consequences, but these are quite rare. And if you were given one like that, there would be language that would tell you that it was not. So 214B is not uncommon, but it is also something that can be overcome. So keep that in mind. And in preparing for the next interview, I would also expect that one of the questions, often the first question, will be, what is different now than when you were here before? And the answer to that question is really going to depend on when the refusal was. So often what happens is somebody is refused, and then when they come back later, it might be months or even years later, their life has changed. They might be working somewhere else, they might have married or had children or things like that. If you're in a situation where your circumstances haven't changed, you still want to go enroll in this program of study, your living situation, working situation are exactly the same, then nothing has changed. So what you want to tell the officer in response to their question is, last time I wasn't able to explain fully my plans for traveling to the United States. Just sort of take that on yourself and then explain those plans in a really effective way. And then that lets the officer know that, you know what, I just didn't give all the information that the previous officer needed. I'm going to give that information to you now.